Hey everybody, welcome to GGS Railways. My name is Greg. This is my YouTube channel. All right, tonight what are we doing? What's going on? Well, we're still cleaning up and going through the thrift store lot that we bought. There's quite a large lot. We got quite a few things, and they were quite dirty, if you'll recall. So you may notice that this little train platform here, half of it's clean, and the other half of it is as we found it. And I'm going to show you how we did that, and we're going to go through that. And I have some new of the acorn nuts here on the top coming, but they're not here just yet. But when we get them, we'll put them on there, which will make it fresh and new looking. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me get this camera repositioned so I can show you exactly what we're doing, and let's get to it. All right, so as you can see, this half is extremely dirty. This half is cleaner, but not clean enough, right? So all right, let's see what we can do here. So first thing I'd like to do, and I tested to make sure that these acorn nuts were not frozen on here earlier, because otherwise we could get in a lot of trouble if it busted off the studs that they screw onto. Now, like I said earlier in the video, in the intro, we have some new acorn nuts. They just have not gotten here yet. We will not probably use those for any longer than we have to. So all right, I'm hoping that this roof will come off without messing up the lights underneath, and we got lucky. Yay! So all right, so that's the bottom. Oops, that's the bottom half, and that's the top. So all right. So what did I do to clean this up so nicely to start with? You may notice that these signs are bright and clean looking. These look a little, a lot worse, a lot worse for wear. I'm fixing to show you. Let's get to that. All right, so I'm going to use the exact same chemicals and the exact same technique that I used to get this other side done here, and we're just going to continue on with that. So if you ever had one of these, you know that this just kind of pegs in there, and if you're lucky, the pegs are not broken. Looks like we are lucky. So all right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a warning before we start this. These signs are not of the later iteration where they'd be paper. These are either steel or something. The reason I say that is because we're fixing to spray this down with a cleaner, and if it's paper, obviously it would simply just dissolve the paper. So all right, so because I'm single and I can do such things, I'm going to work here on my table and I'll wipe it off later. If you're married, you probably kind of wind up in the garage doing this. But yeah, all right, so you just see where I'm spraying this on and just kind of wiping it and just kind of gently, not getting any big hurry. So what this is, it says window cleaner. It's not window cleaner. This is from a gallon of WD-40. And WD-40 is not actually an oil. It is a solvent, and it's a very gentle solvent. And I use it for a great number of things. As a matter of fact, it's what I use to clean up the plastic. And you'll see here in a minute that it works really well. So all right, just gonna kind of go with my fancy cleaning tool, also known as the toothbrush that wore out. So yes, we have some very fancy tools around here. All right, so we're just going to give it a little bit of a rub. Now the secret to using this WD-40 like this is to kind of let it sit, because once again it is a solvent and you want to let it work as opposed to scrub these signs raw of paint. So all right, so another thing about the WD-40 that I might as well mention now is if you have any tinplate, and especially if it's not in great condition, try some of this WD-40 on it. Just wipe it in a kind of a non-descript spot there and kind of test it out. See, I think you'll be very pleased. I have an entire tinplate set that I got as a child. It's the one that I've mused about, that it was in a bucket of water, and while the cars that were in the bucket of water certainly are still not perfect, over the years the WD-40 has significantly improved their appearance. Now, having said all that, if you have something that looks nice to start with, don't do this. All right, this is for kind of your last resort. I'm going to try to save something. So all right, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. We go ahead and get the rest of this platform kind of sprayed down once again. No spouse, so don't have to worry about anybody screaming at us. All right, so just use the toothbrush and kind of get in there in the floorboards, or the grooves of the floor, the artificial floor. Obviously it's not a real wood plank floor, but that's what it's made to look like. So I've already done this side, so I'm just going to kind of go over it very briefly. Turn it around. Do the other side. So it won't help if I break it before I demonstrate what we're doing here. So all right, so I'm just going to kind of go here and here. Now keep in mind that, I mean, if you're all about realism, this would not be perfectly clean in any real world situation, now would it? So all right, very cool. I think oftentimes we get kind of carried away in making things look perfect that really would not actually look perfect in the real world. So all right, let me see if I have this on the camera, if I'm doing anything. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So all right, while all that is soaking, while all that's doing that, once again, these are the kind of nasty acorn nuts. So all right, let's get this roof sprayed down. And once again, I can come back and wipe all this off. Once again, WD-40 is a solvent. It is not actually an oil. A lot of people don't know that. And what you'll find is, like, you've got some rust stains and stuff up here, and it will combat those pretty well. I mean, there's not a lot of things that you can use on this old plastic, and well, much less metal, that will take off the rust stains quite as well as this will. And once again, keep in mind, you know, if you're looking for realism, this probably would not ever be this clean. So all right, once again with the toothbrush, yay. So I promise I am going to wipe off my table. All right, here we go. So once again, if you just kind of let it sit, let the WD-40 do its work as a solvent, you will find that this will work pretty well for you. So all right. So I got a little bit of a spot here that I'm not sure what that is. That may not come off. Maybe a manufacturing the plastic thing actually. So all right, obviously we can't fix something that was not great to start with. So all right, here we go. More with the rubbing, more with the sitting. So all right. So the disadvantage, of course, of using the WD-40 is it gets quite messy, and yeah, at some point you have to kind of stop and clean up. But WD-40 is not difficult to remove. It doesn't stick around for a real long time because, once again, it is a solvent and it actually will evaporate. So you could use it on almost anything. So all right. Now, disclaimer: if you have some high dollar anything, don't do this. Okay? I don't want to be blamed. All right, so we got that all soaked down there. I'm just gonna take this towel, wipe everything off, including my table, and yeah, I'm just gonna go from there. So all right, here in a minute I will show you the roof. Now that we've cleaned it, I promise you it will look a lot better. Now, if anybody's curious, this table I'm working on is soapstone, so this oil will, well, once again, not really oil, will not hurt it. So yeah, very cool. If anything, it'll clean it. So all right, I can hear the wives in the background screaming, "Oh my God, no!" So all right, so I have a feeling that these signs that we have over here are not going to turn out as well as the first ones we did. They were quite rough, and once again, these are a metal-based sign, I do believe. So they are probably got some issues going on underneath it and through the paint. So all right, very cool. So all right, you know, let me see if the camera can show what we got. Yep, it can. Man, that looks really clean. It looks really nice, doesn't it? So all right, so I can tell that I didn't right here. Now, once again, this is the closest that anybody will ever look at this. So all right, let's see here. Let's see if we can get the sign back on here. Now the sign is bent in a way that I don't really like it. I can still feel the dirt trying to come off here, but I'm afraid that if we play with it too much more, the entire sign will come off. And once again, I realized this wouldn't actually be this clean now, would it? So okay, so this guy here has two little notches that goes in, and because it's kind of sprung, this is going to be a little interesting, but I think we can get it. What do you think? All right, I can't tell, but I think I'm where it goes. Trying to kind of persuade it a little bit here, so that doesn't feel like it's in the notch, does it? So I may have to get that light out here. Oh, there it goes, right there. Yes, so that's where it goes. Now, once again, the sign is a little bit bent, but you know, Perhaps the train came off the track and bent it. I don't know. We can make up stories about anything, can't we? All right, so cool. So that's what that's going to look like. So I want to kind of examine these light sockets. They look good. I took the initiative to take out the light bulbs earlier and clean them because I suspect they probably will work. We're going to just put them back in. Once again, I have the acorn nuts that should have been here today, not here today. So we will have to do that in another video, I guess, or wait to put this one out, which is very atypical of me. So all right, this roof still has some issues I'm not thrilled about, so we may have to just settle for a little less than perfect. So here's the thing about this WD-40, and another good thing is this will continue to clean. It will continue to attack that rust even after we dry it off, and so the next time we clean this or do this, it may very well come cleaner. So all right, very cool. So all right, so let's see, we get the roof back on and we'll see what it looks like. What do you think? Am I still on the camera? Am I still doing good? I think so. I think so. All right, so we got the bulbs in, put the roof on. I'm really hesitant to put these acorn nuts back on, but I'm going to. I guess we just won't put them real tight. I was scared that they're going to seize. That's what I'm thinking. Thinking out loud there, wasn't I? It's all right. So we got really fortunate that these acorn nuts actually came off, because sometimes they'll seize to the stud, and they'll take the stud off, and then you're kind of, well, it's not going to be great. So all right, so this is kind of the what it's going to look like. So all right, let me pause it right here. Get some power hooked up to it. We'll see if it actually lights up. That might be a little optimistic, but we got it clean anyway, and it looks a lot better. And I wouldn't be, ashamed to put this out on my layout. Nope, not at all. So let me get the power hooked up to it. Let's see what happens. All right, so I have a transformer hooked to the platform here. We're going to see if these lights will light for us or what the deal is. It'd be nice if it worked. We'll see. All right. Yep, it does work. Very, very cool. Now look how nice it is. I'm going to turn off the bright light here for dramatic effect. Wow. That's amazing. Maybe I'll even turn off the other light. I mean, feeling like a little kid here. All right, so let's see. Wow, man. Look at how sharp that is. Man, we went from wouldn't want to stop there if my life depended on it to that looks like a friendly place to stop. All right, very, very cool. So, all right, I got one more thing I think I want to show you guys, and then we're probably going to call it a night. We've had a lot of fun doing this, or I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I enjoy showing you guys this plastic stuff that's not painted. The molded, colored plastic is kind of impervious to most cleaning type products. You don't want to use anything that's going to take the finish, the bright, shiny finish off. Once again, the WD-40 will not do that, and I think you would be happy with it, and it will continue to clean. That's the interesting thing. All right, so let me get this all situated. We're going to go to the next thing, and we'll see what we can do. More shenanigans. All right, so we are going to take a shot at trying to make some of these metal, I think they're supposed to be grass things, look better. The track goes through here, and I think I showed this to you. Well, I know I showed this to you guys earlier. So what we've done so far, and we've done it on this side, but not, say, this side. And I don't know if the camera will show the difference or not, but what I have done, let me get this here, make sure we can see it. What I've done is I have prepped it with some of this, the concrete and metal prep. And what this does is it takes your rusty steel, and it takes the rust and turns it into, I believe it's a black oxide, which is kind of a primer. And so we can paint on top of this. And yeah, so the paint should stick to this. All I did was I took the paintbrush and I put it in the metal prep, and I just kind of brushed it down. There's no sense in getting it real wet. So, all right, I've got a little bit of green paint here. I hope it's good. We're going to try to paint it, and then maybe we'll compare it to the other side. All right, shenanigans big time. Let's do it. All right, so the first thing is my paint even good? I can't even tell you how long ago I bought this paint. So let's see. Is it good? It's gonna work. Oh, I see a little green, maybe. So, all right, let's see here. Let's see. So, all right, that's looking pretty good. Like the color. It's the only green I have, so I better like the color, right? So, all right, I'm just gonna kind of try to brush this on. This paint is not too great, I can tell you, but it is working. So, all right, here we go. Very cool. So, okay. All right, I had to stop and thin my paint. So, all right, let's continue to go on here. All right. All right, so I have it painted here. We're gonna let it dry, then we're gonna compare and see if we actually did anything, or if, yeah. So I'm wondering now if this all would have been green, or if some of that other would have had different colors or whatever. Kind of looks like bricks. I don't know, maybe, yep, I don't know. Anyway, all right, so probably overthinking. Let me let this dry and we'll be right back. All right, and now that it has dried, this is what we have. So, all right, I'm going to say that this is much, much better than, say, this. All right, yeah, I think that was probably worth doing it. I mean, it was super, super simple. We simply dabbed on the acid, let it dry, and we dabbed on the paint, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Piece of history, right? All right, so I think that's about it for that. So one last thing I want to show you guys, and then we're going to kind of wrap it up for the evening, and this is something I showed you guys the other night. Let me get it out, and we will go from there. All right, so once again, in the group of things that we got from the resale shop, this is the really cool beacon that we got. And I asked everybody, you know, what they thought this was or what brand they thought this was, and somebody said it might be Marks, and that kind of seems like it may ring true for me. I don't know. So, all right. So I've noticed that somebody has rewired it. I've cleaned it up as best as I can. This is as best as I'm going to clean it up because it just looks pretty cool that way, I think. But let's see if it will actually function for us. So yeah, very cool. That is very, very nice. So just to kind of give you guys another taste of maybe what it may or may not be, and I know that somebody knows. I really do. I know that somebody knows. And it may very well be Marks. I don't know. But check this out on the back. And this is going to be a telltale. I'm just certain of it. Look at the handle here. That's going to tell us. And if anybody knows, well, let me know. It's all right. I mean, I don't guess it matters. I think it's cool as heck, and I don't guess I really care who made it. But yeah, anyway, so it's cleaned up quite nicely, I think. Everybody can agree. And we will probably display this on our layout. All right, so I feel like we're making some real progress on cleaning up these thrift shop items that we got, and yeah, it's just a huge lot of things. As a matter of fact, what I have discovered is I have things I didn't even know that I had until now. For instance, we found the other half of the of the Marks crane. We are still missing one wheel, but that may show up just yet. So anyway, I was wondering what the heck these guys were. These are definitely Lionel, and it turns out that these go to an accessory. And it's actually an accessory that we have in the bottom of one of those boxes, and we will show that later. It's I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's a cool accessory or how it works or anything about it, or else certainly I would share that. Then of course our Marks military vehicle here, and it's cleaned up quite nicely as well. So all right, guys. Well, thank you for watching. I've enjoyed, and we will continue to clean this stuff up. We'll kind of probably let you guys tag along on some of that, and if you don't get too bored, we will keep showing what we're doing. And yeah, so all right, guys, I think this is probably it for now. GGS Railways out.